In front of me is the 10 basic pitch types. And when you first purchase the game, you get these 10 different pitches. So we have a good batting wicket, another good batting wicket, a normal wicket. There's actually 3 normal wickets, a green wicket, one with uneven bounce, one that takes spin, one that shows signs of damage, and one wicket breaking up. When you roll, and we'll go through this a little bit more in another video, you roll at the start of a match to see which type of pitch you have, and it will give you a description of what type of pitch and what to expect from it. Now, these pitches have different modifiers. Well, some of them do, some of them don't have any. Now, when I showed you before all the different pitch types, I showed you 22, and there are these other pitch types, and they all have A, B, and C's behind them, and they are the ones that come with the additional worldwide weather chart package. The worldwide weather chart package will give you other ones like very slow pace wicket, slow pace and low bounce, dry and grassless, good pace wicket, dry and dusty, hard pitch with excessive bounce, dry and slightly cracked, fast pace wicket, the ball keeping low, high bounce, some help for spinners, a spinner's paradise. So the worldwide weather charts will add quite a lot of different effects to the wicket type we're using. So this is the basic chart here. But just for an instance, just for an example, I should say, this is like the worldwide weather charts, and we have a 1988 to 1998 chart, and we have a 1999 to 2005 chart. These are test matches. This is basically, you have the weather for each country that can be chosen, and then you have the pitch types from each country, but from each venue. So there's actually 11 different pitch types that should come up here for each venue. Having a quick look at it, Adelaide in Australia, these are all the different ones. Now you can roll 2 to 12 and have 12 options, or you can roll 1 to 6, and I think there's 5 options there for the main sort of pitches that there are. If you roll a 2 to 12, there might be a couple of pitches that perform a little bit differently. Again, they will get descriptions about them, so you know how the pitch is going to play. So basically, there's 20 years of pitch data there, and that's for test matches. And then the one-day internationals as well have a weather roll, and you cross-reference that weather roll to get the pitch type and the pitch type for the different countries. So it's not by ground, and then the weather will tell you exactly what it is in that country. So in India, there's more hot and sunny days. If you go to England, you can see it's more cooler, more chance for showers and rain. So the different sort of countries have different weather patterns. Here in Pakistan, 6 out of the 10 is hot and sunny. So there's going to be different effects in different places where you live or where you're playing the game. But we obviously talked about, and I want to grab some dice again. Just grab my red and greens. We initially talked about the 2 red dice for the bowler, the 2 green dice, and we were talking about the white dice. And we saw that the new ball and the overcast card has options when you roll the white dice. If it's a 5 or a 6, certain deliveries affect it. With the pitch types, you can see that it's very similar. There are some effects, but these effects are not going to be on the rolls of 5 or 6. These are going to be the rolls of 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So we got 1, 2, wherever 3 is, and 4. So you can see down here, for instance, pitch card 8, taking spin. Spin bowlers favoured on rolls of 1, 2, or 3, except full toss and long hop. So if you had a spin bowler, all his deliveries would be favoured, like a -1 on any white dice roll of 1, 2, and 3, unless it was a full toss or a long hop. This one, actually, if I go to the worldwide weather chart once, what have we got? All turn deliveries become turn -3, and all good length deliveries by spinners are favoured. So it wouldn't even need to be relying on a dice on that one. This one here, just turn deliveries favoured on rolls of 1 or 2. So this one over here is all deliveries except full toss and long hop on 1, 2, and 3 are favoured. This one is just your turn deliveries on dice rolls of 1 or 2. And this one doesn't matter what the white die is. So you can just basically look at these and it'll tell you. This one here, wicket showing signs of damage. Now this one's only got the scoreboard end bowlers, so one end, it's favouring good lengths on rolls of 1 and 2. So you've got a 1 and 2, and it's a good length. That good length becomes -1. So there's all these different things on the basic chart, and these charts here for the worldwide weather charts will add a lot more. So you can see down here that it's bringing in certain things, reducing the bowler's modifiers except on these balls if you roll that number. So these things won't come into play all the time. Sometimes they'll come into play only a little bit. And if you got pitch card 3, pitch card 4, pitch card 5, there's no effect at all. So if you've got those and there's no new ball card and there's no overcast card, then this dice here is not even necessary to be rolled. Just roll those. But if there is effects or a new ball or overcast, you'll roll the white die and see if anything comes up. Now, if it's a new ball, but you've got a pitch 3, 4, or 5, well then when you roll this, you're only going to be looking at, you're only really checking if there's some modifiers on number 5 and number 6, because the new ball only brings up number 5 and number 6. If there's no new ball and there's no overcast card, and the pitch, and you've got a pitch that has modifiers, you only really need to check that on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes you don't have to use this at all. Sometimes you will have to use it quite a lot. If the wickets say, if you've got like something like this, where you've got like something where the wicket's breaking up quite a bit, and you've got a new ball, well then every one of these third dice numbers is going to come into play. But that's not all the time. The more the dice comes into play, this white dice, the better it is for the bowlers generally, although some of these cards up here would beg to differ, but definitely down here. And you're going to probably lose wickets at a greater rate. So generally when you first start a test match, you might get something like a bit of a green wicket, or maybe it's green for just a little bit of time and then it becomes normal. The batsman will be able to bat well for quite a while. And then as you get on later on down through the days of the test match towards day 4 and day 5, you start to get some of these lower numbers. Now that doesn't mean that you can't have a lower number to start the match. But say for instance you had a wicket started with uneven bounce in a test match. Well, that test match will probably not go the full 5 days. That's probably going to, be a 2-3 day test match or something like that, depending on the quality of the bowlers and the batsmen, of course. So that's how you use the pitches. And that's how the white dice comes into focus with the pitches. So we have a white dice that 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the pitches, 5 or 6 for the new ball. Also for the overcast card, we have the charts, which I'll go through a little bit more with the worldwide weather charts in another video, because they're quite detailed and they're awesome. So that's how that all works. Any questions, just let me know.